Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, is a cryptid that has intrigued and captivated people for centuries. This large, mysterious ape-like creature is believed to inhabit forests, primarily in North America, and is typically described as being bipedal, covered in hair, and towering over. Reports of sightings, tracks, and other phenomena related to Bigfoot have persisted for decades, and the question remains, is there any solid evidence to support the existence of such a creature? Or is Bigfoot merely a product of folklore and imagination? In this exploration, we will delve into the origins of the Bigfoot legend, examine various pieces of purported evidence, analyze scientific perspectives on the matter, and discuss the broader cultural impact of Bigfoot. Along the way, we will consider the factors that have led to the persistence of Bigfoot lore and why people continue to believe in the creature despite the lack of concrete evidence. The origins of Bigfoot. Story of Bigfoot is often associated with North America, where it has become a fixture of popular culture. However, the concept of a large, humanoid ape-like creature is not exclusive to the United States or Canada. Throughout history, various cultures around the world have tales of similar beings, ranging from the Yeti of the Himalayas to the Almas of Central Asia. These creatures are often described as wild men or forest dwellers that are elusive and difficult to capture or study. In North America, the legend of Bigfoot can be traced back to indigenous cultures, who have long told stories of giant, human-like beings that roam the forests. In many Native American traditions, these creatures are known as Sasquatch or wild man, and their descriptions vary from region to region. Some indigenous groups even have specific names for these creatures, with differing characteristics depending on the tribe's cultural context. These stories often portray Sasquatch as a solitary, enigmatic being that is part of the natural world, existing alongside human beings but rarely encountered. The modern fascination with Bigfoot, however, is largely a product of 20th century media and sensationalism. In the 1950s and 1960s, reports of Bigfoot sightings began to increase, and the creature gained widespread attention through newspaper articles, books, and television programs. One of the earliest and most famous pieces of evidence in the Bigfoot mythos was the 1967 Patterson-Gimlin film, which purportedly captured footage of a Bigfoot in the forests of Northern California. The grainy film showed a large, humanoid figure walking across a creek bed, and it has since become one of the most debated pieces of evidence in Bigfoot research. Descriptions of Bigfoot. The typical description of Bigfoot is that of a large, hairy, bipedal creature resembling an ape or an early human ancestor. Witnesses report seeing a creature that stands between 7 and 10 feet tall and is covered in dark brown or black fur. Some accounts describe the creature as having a more human-like face, while others emphasize its ape-like features, such as a pronounced brow ridge and a flat nose. Bigfoot is often said to have a strong and pleasant odor, which is sometimes likened to rotting meat or skunk spray. The evidence for Bigfoot. Quest for evidence of Bigfoot's existence has been a central focus for researchers, enthusiasts, and skeptics alike. Over the years, a wide array of evidence has been presented in support of the creature's existence, including eyewitness testimonies, footprints, hair samples, and audio recordings. However, the validity of this evidence remains a point of contention, and critics argue that much of it can be attributed to misidentifications, hoaxes, or the natural tendency of humans to interpret ambiguous evidence in ways that fit their beliefs. Eyewitness accounts. The most common form of evidence for Bigfoot is eyewitness testimony. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people claim to have seen the creature, with many of these reports coming from credible individuals, such as hunters, hikers, and park rangers. The consistency of these sightings, with descriptions of a large, hairy, ape-like figure, lends some weight to the argument that there may be something to the Bigfoot legend. However, eyewitness accounts are notoriously unreliable, especially when the sightings occur in stressful or potentially dangerous situations. Skeptics point out that human memory is fallible, and that people may be prone to exaggerate or misinterpret what they see, especially in the midst of fear or excitement. Furthermore, psychological factors such as the power of suggestion, groupthink, or a predisposition to believe in the supernatural can influence how witnesses perceive events. In many cases, sightings of Bigfoot have occurred at night or in poor lighting conditions, further complicating the reliability of the accounts. Footprints and tracks. Perhaps the most iconic form of Bigfoot evidence is the collection of footprints or tracks that have been discovered over the years. These tracks are often described as being much larger than those of an average human, with some reports claiming that the footprints measure up to 24 inches in length. The toes of the tracks are said to be deeply imprinted into the ground, and some even show signs of hair-like impressions on the edges. In some cases, researchers have conducted castings of the tracks, preserving the footprints in plaster for further study. While these casts are impressive in their detail, they do not provide irrefutable evidence that the tracks were made by a creature like Bigfoot. The problem lies in the fact that many animals, particularly bears, can leave similar tracks in soft ground, and without a clear observation of the creature responsible for the footprints, it is impossible to determine with certainty what made them. Hair samples and DNA evidence. Another type of evidence that has been presented in support of Bigfoot's existence is hair samples. Several purported Bigfoot hair samples have been collected over the years, some of which have been analyzed in laboratories. In some cases, the hair has been determined to be of an unknown species, which proponents argue could indicate the presence of a previously undiscovered primate or hominid. The challenge of collecting DNA evidence is also significant. The vast majority of Bigfoot sightings occur in remote wilderness areas, where researchers have limited access to the terrain. Additionally, if Bigfoot were indeed a real, elusive creature, it would likely be highly cautious and avoid human contact, making it difficult to obtain hair or other biological evidence. Audio and video recordings. In addition to eyewitness testimony and physical evidence, there have been several audio and video recordings that proponents of the Bigfoot legend claim to be authentic. One of the most famous examples is the Sierra Sounds, a series of audio recordings made in the 1970s by a group of Bigfoot researchers in the Sierra Nevada mountains. The recordings feature strange, guttural vocalizations that some believe to be the calls of Bigfoot. Although the sounds are intriguing, they have not been definitively linked to any known animal, and their source remains unknown. The Patterson-Gimlin film, taken in 1967, is perhaps the most well-known piece of Bigfoot footage. The film shows a large, hairy figure walking across a creek bed in the forests of Northern California. The creature in the film appears to exhibit characteristics consistent with Bigfoot sightings, such as its size, posture, and movement. However, the film's authenticity has been hotly debated. Some researchers argue that it could be a hoax, while others believe it to be genuine but concede that it is difficult to prove its veracity without additional evidence. Scientific perspective. As scientific community is generally skeptical of the existence of Bigfoot, most scientists argue that there is no compelling evidence to support the idea that such a creature exists. The lack of a body, skeletal remains, or other physical evidence makes it difficult for researchers to take the claims of Bigfoot enthusiasts seriously. Additionally, many of the supposed Bigfoot sightings and encounters can be explained by other phenomena, such as misidentifications of known animals or the human tendency to attribute mysterious events to supernatural causes. Some scientists have pointed out that if a creature as large as Bigfoot were living in the forests of North America, it would likely leave behind more tangible evidence, such as carcasses, bones, or droppings. The fact that no such evidence has been found suggests that the creature, if it exists, is either extremely rare or non-existent. While the scientific consensus is largely dismissive of the Bigfoot phenomenon, some researchers remain open to the possibility that there may be undiscovered creatures in the wilderness. The field of cryptozoology, which is concerned with the study of unknown or mythical animals, continues to explore the possibility that Bigfoot could be a real, albeit elusive, creature. The question of whether Bigfoot exists remains one of the most enduring mysteries in modern folklore. Despite decades of sightings, physical evidence, and investigations, the creature has never been conclusively proven to exist. Eyewitness testimony, footprints, and hair samples have all failed to provide definitive proof, and scientific skepticism remains high. The mystery of Bigfoot is not just about the search for physical evidence. It is also a reflection of our fascination with the unknown and our desire to explore the boundaries of human knowledge. Whether or not Bigfoot ever turns out to be real, the legend continues to capture the human imagination, inspiring exploration, curiosity, and debate.